Well, what's going on, everyone? Mr. Lad over here, and coming back to you with another video. Before we get into it, if you go ahead and click the subscription button, click the notification bell, wax the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the video. So today, as you see, we are going ahead and we're detailing a car. It's a familiar car you've seen me do in a few various videos. It's actually a family member's car. But as we're now up in Ohio getting ready for the winter months and the snow, they're actually expecting snow on Monday, which is wild to think that we're snowing in November. Nonetheless, here we are, our first snow. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go ahead and prepare the vehicle for for our winter protection. And so the best way that you could prepare a vehicle is by ceramic coating it. And so we are going over now the preparation process, the cleaning steps. So we're going to separate this series into 3 different videos: the cleaning, the correcting, and the protecting. So right now in this video, we're going over the cleaning. I first sprayed the tires with Super Clean and that bug sprayer. Next, I went ahead and went over the rims with the Dark Fury from Superior Products. The reason why I separated the 2 products is because I've noticed that while Dark Fury does work on tires, I find that it's not as efficient as Super Clean is. And while Super Clean does work on rims, I don't find it as efficient as Dark Fury is. And so here I went ahead and separated it. I went ahead and sprayed the Super Clean on the tires and within the wheel wells. The reason why is because the back wheel wells is cloth. And I don't like getting Dark Fury, that brown liquid in there. It foams up a lot and it's just really hard to manage. So I went ahead and I treated all the wheel wells, all of the tires with Super Clean. Then I did all the rims as well as the wheel barrels with the Superior Products. Now what I'm doing is I'm going over the entire vehicle with Dark Fury. Now, I did not rinse the vehicle first. You're going to notice the way that I do things is a little bit different than what most people would do in a mobile scenario. The reason why is because a lot of the precautions people take is to prevent any issues such as scratches, swirls, stains. All of the precautions that we take in a mobile environment are so we don't have to go back and do more work later. However, in this scenario, we are actually going to go back anyway as we are preparing this vehicle for a ceramic coating. So where a lot of people would worry, is the Dark Fury going to stain the paint? Well, I have this diluted 4-to-1, so most likely it's not going to. However, if you had very sensitive paint or found yourself in a very interesting situation where you're worried about some possible staining and whatnot, that would be a concern. But since I am going to do paint correction anyway in the next video, I'm not too concerned about that. So I went ahead and sprayed the vehicle down with Dark Fury. Now I'm going over with a foam cannon, and the objective is to allow the Dark Fury to continue to dwell on the surface, and at the same time, I want to start to encapsulate the dirt. This vehicle's probably driven about 2,000 to 3,000 miles since the last detail, and so there's a lot of dirt, especially towards the bottom of the vehicle, getting to where the wheels kick up dirt while on the road and back of the wheels. So, I'm making sure to spray all of that with the Dark Fury. I'm going over with the foam cannon, which I'm using Turtle Waxes. I believe it's Pure Wash. It's that cherry smelling soap that they came out with about 4 years ago when they were going into the whole graphene lineup. I'm using that, and it's actually a really good foam soap. I think it's Pure Slick, that's what it's called. It's a really good soap. I really like it. My only problem with anything Turtle Wax is they don't sell stuff in the gallons. I wish they did, because that would make it so much more economical, and I would find myself wanting to use it. So I am now going over with the pressure washer. I'm rinsing off what the Dark Fury and the Pure Slick soap is kind of encapsulating. As you see, the soap is brown. That is not because of how dirty the vehicle is. That is because of the Dark Fury, which is another reason why I like to rinse it off before doing the contact wash, because I don't want that brown mess all over me. It's a great product, but it is a messy product. And so I'm going over trying to, make sure that I'm doing a good job by removing all the surface dirt. However, I'm not too concerned about removing every bit of soap from the vehicle. I want to make sure I remove the dirt. And so if there's any dirt left in the soap, I want to remove that. However, there's going to be some soap left. There's going to be some soap in the cracks and all that. And that's not a big deal because I'm still going over and doing a contact wash. So there's no point in going over and going crazy trying to remove every bit of suds from every crack. That's not necessary. My purpose is to make sure that I'm removing the dirt in that step. Now in this step, I'm going ahead and I am doing the actual contact wash step. So I am refoaming the vehicle. As you see, the foam might look a little runny to you. That's because in this environment, I'm trying to not have to refill the foam cannon multiple times. So I put about 3 ounces of soap in the foam cannon, and I set the foam cannon to about a 75% output. That drastically reduces the amount of soap and the amount of solution that's in the foam cannon, and therefore I'm able to go over and perform all the adequate steps without having to refill the foam cannon like I would normally do if I had it at full blast. So I'm going over with the contact wash. I am working or doing my best to work top down. Then I am going ahead and I am dipping it into the bucket which has a grit guard. Now I am not separating, having a specific wash mitt for the bottom of the vehicle where I have a specific for the top. I'm not doing all that. Why am I not doing that? It's because, once again, a lot of the precautions that you would take in a mobile scenario, I'm not necessarily taking in this scenario, and I'm going ahead and I'm just getting the job done, trying to be quick, trying to be efficient. It's like 50 degrees out here in this video. Wind is starting to kick up. You'll see that later on in the video, how much it kicks up. I'm dealing with all that. I just want to get the job done so I can move forward to the next step. And so I really just want to go ahead and make sure I am, rinsing out, of course, my mitt. I'm not going over the whole vehicle without dumping the mitt back and cleaning it off into the solution. I'm not doing that. However, I'm not doing the 2-bucket method. I'm not doing 5 wash mitts. As a matter of fact, I don't even do the 2-bucket method to begin with. But that's a conversation for another day. So now we're doing the rinse step. This is not the last step. So once again, I am not going to be crazy thorough about making sure that I remove 100% of the soap. And realistically, I'm probably removing 85 to 90%. And most of the leftover is going to probably be within the creases and crevices of the vehicle. But I do want to make sure that I'm doing a decent job. I want to make sure that I'm removing the dirt that's in the soap that I just removed from the surface of the vehicle. So, the objective is to be efficient, be thorough, but don't waste time either. I'm probably already wasting too much time in this video, but I'm trying to at least work faster than I normally would because I have multiple foam steps and multiple rinse steps. As you saw, I did not do an entire rinse on the front grille there. Here I'm using the Turtle Wax Rapid Decon iron and wheel iron remover. It's a good product. I've had it for quite a while. It's actually the first time I've used it. I happen to really like it, especially for the surface, the paint. The only problem is that the nozzle on this bottle is pretty shoddy, so I'm gonna have to remove everything or take everything out of this bottle and put it in a different bottle. As I spray, it leaks out the nozzle, and that's just fun. It's always fun to have that. But a cool thing about this product is it doesn't smell as bad as most iron removers, where most on the market have a very, very heavy sulfuric acids from the thioglycolic acid, a very heavy acidic smell. This one doesn't. It's very light, and then they mask it with a little bit of a light lime or citrus smell. It's actually really cool. So as you see now, I'm going over with what is the third and thankfully last foam step. Once again, we're trying to be thorough while not wasting time. And so you want to have a good pre-step, a good contact wash step, and then you have to go ahead and make sure you clay the vehicle. Now, if you wanted to go around the vehicle with just a rinseless or waterless wash, you could do that. I like to use foam. I work a little bit quicker that way. I don't want to keep my hands up to every aspect of the vehicle because of how cold it is outside. I'm trying to keep some distance, and now that the wind is kicking up, it is just, It's just not fun to work with. So I'm trying to make things as pleasant and enjoyable as possible for myself. Nonetheless, this is probably the same, actually not probably, this is the same method that I would do if I was working in a mobile environment in South Florida, like the conditions I've been used to for my entire life. But here we are. I'm going over the vehicle. I'm using the Holey clay from Autofiber. Just the only reason why it's called Holey clay is not because of how awesome it is. It's just simply because of the fact that it's perforated. There's perforations inside of the synthetic clay towel. Works good. Gets the job done. You know, it's not very aggressive. It's a fine clay. And out of all the fine clays on the market, it is probably the least aggressive. And you're about to see something. It's about to kick up any second. Any second. Bam! Here we go. My phone falls on the ground. We survive. We recover. And we move forward with a worse camera angle. So, you know, I like the Holey clay. It's a good product. It's cheap. It's inexpensive. I've probably gotten about 20 uses out of it so far. It's about time that I switch it out. I noticed after this vehicle, it had a little bit too much marring. Every clay medium is going to mar to some extent. However, I noticed it after this one, so it's probably about time for me to switch it out. I would say you'd probably get anywhere from 10 to 15 good solid uses out of it, and then it's about time to switch out. But you know, at 20 bucks, that's nothing crazy, right? That's not a whole lot. So you know, you're talking about $1.50, $1.50 a use. You're fine. So now rinsing it off. This is the rinsing step where I want to be thorough. Here is the last time I'm going over the vehicle with a pressure washer, or if you had a hose, this would be the last time that you go over it with that. So you want to be thorough in this step. Take a little bit more time. Make sure that you are rinsing out every crease, every crevice. If I did not have a long wand and I had more of the handheld gun pressure washer, then I would go ahead, or pressure washer nozzle, I would go ahead and go up and open every door handle so I can get in there. But you know, with this wand, it's tough. I really don't like these wands, but I use it because it's cold and I try to stay as far away from the vehicle as possible so I can get as least wet as possible. Now next we're going to go ahead and hit the drying step. This is the drying blanket, I believe, from House of Rags or from DIY Detail, one of the two. It was a gift from Ivan LaCroix, and it was very kind of him. So I'm going over. I did pre-treat it a little bit with some rinseless wash from DIY Detail, and that was just to kind of get it activated. It's cold outside. The absorption's not the best when it's cold, and that's just towels in general. I know that it shouldn't be an issue, but I've used this a ton. I've used a lot of drying aids with it. I probably clumped it up a little bit too much. I love using drying aids, especially like they have protection in it, but they just mess your towels up, and I think that that's the case here. However, you know, a little bit of rinseless wash, just activate it with a little bit of water. You could even put it on the hood and just lightly mist it with a pressure washer, and that would kind of get it activated. But that towel is amazing. It just soaks for days. It's great. But, you know, this is the drying step. You could, of course, follow up then with a leaf blower. You could do that. However, since you're polishing next, you're going to have to wipe down the surface pre-polish anyway. But, guys, that's really it. This is how exactly you would prepare a vehicle for the correction step. This is the cleaning step. It's not rocket science. However, you want to be a little bit more methodical while doing it. You know, you don't have to use an iron remover. However, a couple sprays per panel will aid a little bit in the iron removal process and stuff like that. It really just helps you out. You know, of course you want to go ahead and maybe use a leaf blower to get inside the grill, but after it's all said and done, the vehicle is bare. It's cleaned. I hit it with a high pH solution with the Dark Fury. I followed up with a pH neutral soap. That was the Turtle Wax Pure Slick. Then I did the clay step with the Holey clay as well as the Turtle Wax Rapid Decon. All in all, it's a real easy process to do. Just don't rush it. Take your time. Enjoy the process. Because, guys, when it comes to it, detailing, it's fun and you should enjoy it.